Hi.
Hi, my name is Dr. Felice Cellini. I'm blessed and grateful to be in recovery, and this is our Thursday night Why Wait for Recovery Sunday evening community meeting.
Hi, my name is Haiti, and I'm blessed and grateful to
Did I
be.
say Thursday?
No, it's just
I'm blessed and grateful to be in recovery. We get together every Thursday and Sunday. I am a compulsive overeater. I'm an emotional eater. I'm a binger. I'm a purger. I'm a drug addict. I'm also, the best part is, in recovery.
And I'm in recovery as well. I am a drug addict, alcoholic, anorexic in recovery. Welcome, everybody. So we're in a new place and having a little bit of technical challenges tonight. And so whoever's going to share, we're going to ask you to please speak up as loudly as you can so that everybody else can hear you. We'd appreciate that. And so we're still talking about hope, right? This is still Hope Month. So we're still talking about hope, and we're going to talk about being fat. And actually, really, when we talk about things like that, we talk about being fat or being in active addiction or using, or we're talking about what the end result. Hi, come on in, sweetheart. We're talking about what the end result of our challenge actually is. And our challenge actually is our thinking. And when we talk about being in recovery, we talk about changing our thinking, changing our perspective, so that we could in turn change our behaviors, so that we could get well.
So I just wanted to hop in and give you a little bit of a background. So we are located in Davie, Southeast Florida. So if you're local, come on down. We get together in the room, or people live stream us on Facebook, on YouTube, or they join us in our virtual waiting room. You can hop on by just texting us or messaging us, or go to our website, sowhywait.net, and you can link into our meeting from there.
Okay. All right. And so,
I forgot to tell them.
She forgot to tell
We
you.
are not affiliated with any associations. We are just two friends discussing our own stories, our own courage, our own strength, our own hope, and that's it.
Yeah. So we're here to chat about recovery. And so, so when we talk about being fat, again, we're talking about what the end result of our addiction is. And we're going to talk about how it's our thinking that drives our behavior. And how in the beginning of recovery, guys, we need to stay abstinent because we need to clean out the receptors in our brain so that we could actually think and understand, have a little bit of an understanding or a little bit more of an open mind, so that we can step into some kind of recovery. And yes, go ahead.
So I saw something interesting. So I'm post bariatric surgery. I had bariatric surgery 2 years ago. I lost 150 pounds, and it really wasn't about the weight. But I see these posts online of people going, how long did it take you to recover from surgery? Well, it took me a heck of a long time besides the actual operation. So the actual recovery part of it, the physical part, was a lot quicker than the mental and spiritual side of it, which really took the most work. So the recovery for me really was probably a 2-year journey to reach the stage that I'm at now, which is constant work, which is working with people who have what I got. And it's being abstinent from those things that set me off and make me act crazy, and those things that set me off into my obsessive thinking and compulsive behaviors that when I'm picking up, I can't stop picking up, and I can't stop saying things that I don't mean, and I can't stop pretending that I'm okay and I'm really falling apart and feeling like crap. So for me, the recovery part of it is the physical side was really easy. It's the rest of it that really is taking the most work.
Yeah, and so we don't talk too much about the medical side of things, but I will say that, you know, for some people, I've had some patients that didn't recover. I've had some patients whose recovery was super quick. We're talking about physical recovery from a surgery. And I've had some patients whose recovery took an awful long time, that there are complications of the surgery. And that's with any surgery anywhere. You know, anytime we're having any surgery, certain complications may happen, may not happen. And that's not what we're talking about. And so what Haiti is talking about, and thank you, because what you're talking about, the actual spiritual recovery part of it, is the part that's going to keep us healthy. The other stuff, we're in a hospital, we have doctors, they're going to take care of us, that's going to come. The part where we get well and we get a little bit of happy, that doesn't come from losing the weight. That comes from changing our perspective so that we can enjoy where we are in our lives, so we could accept the things that we can't change, just like they say about acceptance. And so we could stop fighting against ourselves.
And for some of us, firstly, surgery is not for everyone. I just want to mention this because some people stepped into recovery and have found a different way of life. But I also the reason I bring it up so much is because I hear so many people struggling that are going through it, and that's why I keep bringing it up. And for me, I'm that addict that is an addict, that it didn't matter what I was picking up, if it was food, men, drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, it didn't matter, was anything that I used to change the way that I felt. So I could numb out how I was feeling at that time and not having to deal with it or look at me or see why I was so unhappy and where I was.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what happens is we find ourselves in active addiction, and then we don't have to pay attention to anything except for, as they say, ways and means to get more. And so now I'm not really paying attention to how I'm feeling or what's going on the inside. I'm now only paying attention to what is it that I'm going to use that's going to change the way that I'm feeling, as opposed to looking at how I feel, learning how to change my perspective, and learning how to get well. And it's so horrible to be in active addiction, but sometimes it's like it's easier just to pop the pill or drink the alcohol or eat the 63 Oreos. A lot of times, momentarily, that's easier than sitting down and taking a look at ourselves and saying, hey, what is eating me? What is going on inside of me? How do I reach out to you? How do I make it known that I need some help? How do I ask for help? How do I let go of some of the fear? How do I learn to live happily?
And how do I say I'm scared? And it's so much easier for me when I'm in crazy mode to really look at other people and start judging and become resentful and look at the things that they're doing rather than the things that I'm doing. And that for me is part of my challenge, and that's one of the quickest ways for me to go out if I lead myself into that route.
Yeah, and so I love that you said that, because Haiti, when you talk about I'm going to look at other people and judge others so that I can have reasons to use, right? Or, it's your fault because really, if you were nicer to me, I wouldn't use today. And if you would have given me what I needed, and if you would only know what it is that I'm trying to tell you. And so we get to put ourselves into that victim mode and say, oh, you don't understand me. And you don't really care about me. And you don't even know me. And so I'm so lonely anyway, so I might as well use. As opposed to what's going on in this head here, and what is it that I can do so that I can start to get well, right? So that your opinion of me isn't the only opinion that I have. And whether you can help me or not, that I understand that that's who you are and where you're coming from. And although you're not paying attention to me, for me to realize that I'm still worth paying attention to, and that maybe I have something to give you today, instead of expecting you to give something to me right now.
And one of my favorite is, and it's my favorite for me, and this is my story, is that you don't hear me. You don't listen to me, you don't hear me, but then I start thinking, I don't really express myself because I've told myself so many stories that you are going to judge me if I tell you how I'm really feeling and I'm not presenting the way that I think that you should see me. If I start telling you that I'm scared and that I'm afraid and that I'm lonely and that I feel uncomfortable and all these different things. So I expect you to read my mind and know exactly what I want and exactly what I'm feeling without me having the words to explain it, or be able to know what I'm really feeling, because I've been using, when I was in active addiction, I used for so long, I didn't know what I was feeling.
And not only that, but when they are reading your mind, they also need to sign up on your shit. So now, not only do you have to read my mind, but you have to understand why I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling, which I have no idea, by the way, of what I'm feeling. So I'm going to ask you to tell me how I'm feeling, and then I'm going to disagree with you.
Right, and then I'm going to crap on you because you got it wrong.
And now we're sitting in the middle of chaos, and chaos allows me also not to take a look at me. It allows me to take up that bitch, and she doesn't understand me, she's not even hearing me, and that's not what I'm saying. And, and I get to call Angela and talk to her all about you, and blah, 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 blah. And then all of that chaos is happening outside of me again. And I'm paying attention to what's happening outside of me, just like when I'm only paying attention to the fact that I need to lose 100 pounds, as opposed to, how did I get here? Why am I here? What is it that needed to change so that I didn't get here? And if I have a surgery, what is it that I need to change so that I don't wind up in the exact same place? Because you guys, if you have the surgery and you don't change your perspective and you don't have some kind of mind shift, You won't change your actions, and in time, you'll wind up exactly where you were or with more weight than you had to begin with.
So one of the big red flags for me, especially having been that post-op bariatric kind of person, is not losing weight fast enough. If it's all about the weight and how fast you're not losing it, or I lost track of how long it took me to put it on and lose it and put it on and lose it, and that whole cycle, and then all of a sudden was the craziness of not losing it fast enough. I was focused on the wrong thing. I was focused on the physical crap again and not really on how I was feeling and why I was starting to feel like that. And you know what? Even when I became thin, I was still messed up and unhappy because thin didn't make me happy.
And there's the thing. So people go for surgery and they say, oh, I'm going to lose 100 pounds and I'm going to be so happy. And that's not the way that it works. Yes, perhaps, ideally, you will lose the 100 pounds and you're going to be exactly where you are with you, only in smaller pants. And if nothing changes, you're going to do exactly what you did before to deal with what you weren't dealing with, and you're going to wind up in the same pants that you were in to begin with.
And in the same way that I say I'm a drug addict in recovery, when I put down the drugs, it didn't make me any happier than when I picked up the cigarettes or I picked up the food, because it really wasn't about the substance. It's what I was using it for and how I was obsessing about it, and that was about me spiritually being broken.
Yeah, absolutely. We put down the drink or the drugs and then we're petrified. Now we're like 83 times worse because now we have the same problems without our go-to change your mind, our go-to substance to change the way that we're feeling. And so we got to get some recovery in there. And being in recovery allows us to understand that the universe turns the way that it does. That even if I'm doing the next right thing, doesn't mean that something that I want to happen will happen. But it does mean that what is happening that I don't have control over is worth accepting. Because when I'm not accepting it, I'm scared and miserable and discontent.
So I just want to say, you know, one of the most amazing things about recovery and being, I try to do this alone. And I was really lonely and afraid, and I kept not understanding why I could lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, and still feel miserable, until I started realizing that I kept listening to my thinking, which was kind of flawed. And all of a sudden, being in community and being in a recovery community, I started getting different information. I started hanging around with people who have recovery. I started getting really good advice from people who are getting great results rather than great opinions. So for me, community is awesome. So I'm also meeting amazing friends. And we had an amazing friend come visit us this week from Illinois. Yay. Hey, Jess. So it's so nice all of a sudden meeting people face to face, because I honestly say that I'm blessed and grateful to be around these amazing, incredible people, because you truly are. I learned so much from being around you, and just being able to be here with you is just a blessing.
Yeah, it really is. So thank you. It was awesome to see you, Jess. It was really a lot of fun. So how about if we go around and hear somebody else's voice besides ours?
Right, so I just want to mention something. We're in a brand new venue. I want to give a shout out to West Broward Club. Thank you. Awesome venue, guys.
Anybody in South Florida, find West Broward Club and come
Thursday night.
Come to our meetings.
Yeah,
Thursday night.
7 o'clock. But guys online, we are having a little bit of a sound challenge, so speak loudly when you speak.
Okay, who wants to start? Start. Anybody want to start?
Angelique.
Yeah, so Angela is pointing to I'm doing the computer thing. Thank you for doing the computer thing and for your service. And Karen, how are you?
Oh, Karen's gonna take one for the team.
Yep, she's gonna have to. I just called her out.
I'm all right.
Can you speak as loudly as possible?
Yes. Can you hear me better now?
A little bit.
Okay. Well, I'm almost yelling, but I will continue to try to do that. We had a funeral service for my aunt yesterday, and it was wonderful being with, a close family and extended family, and yet I was also, I felt a lot of anxiety just in that same realm. Also, I had 5 minutes of intense feeling left out kind of thing, and I don't even know what it was about or what.
Oops, we just lost our connection.
Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. So we'll get back to Karen. We're gonna actually speak with somebody in the room. So Sarah, you're sitting right across from me. I'm gonna call on you. How are you today, sweetheart?
I'm okay.
Okay. Are you present with us today?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm present. Let's see, for this week or in general, I would say there's,
You're okay, go ahead.
okay, I wouldn't say there's too much struggles. I would just say more that, like, for instance, there's things that I want to happen.
Like what? Can you be
I'm
specific?
actively searching for a job, and
Okay.
I've applied to a lot. I haven't, nobody's called me.
Okay.
But I'm telling myself, just like with anything else in life, things take time, and just because you want something doesn't mean in 2 seconds it's gonna happen.
Even though you're an addict, when we
Right.
want something, it doesn't mean that it happens before we even wanted it to happen.
Right.
Okay.
So I guess there's different things that I'm trying to base off of that it's not, everything takes time, and I just have to be patient, and just kind of hold off until then and do the best that I can, keep applying or whatever it is.
So it's really great that you said that. So you're looking for a job for the first time in a while, right? And you've applied for a bunch of jobs and you haven't gotten one yet, and you've been looking for a couple weeks now? Okay. And so we can look at that when we talk about perspective in a couple of different ways, right? We can look at it as this is a good opportunity for me to get my resume together, make sure that my CV says what it's supposed to. Maybe I'm gonna give my CV to Felice and she'll check it out and see how it looks, right? And also it gets me used to applying for jobs, right? And that, whether I'm anxious about it or not, the job is gonna come or it's not. And so the only thing that happens if I hold on to anxiety, and it's normal, of course, we're human beings, so you're looking for a job and you're doing your best and we want it to happen right away, which everybody does, right? But if we sit in anxiety, which is fear-based, the more anxious or the more fearful we get, the more apt we are not to do anything. Right? The more apt we are to throw up our hands and say, well, I've already been doing, I've sent out 86,000 resumes and it's already been 2 weeks and nobody wants me anyway, and go into all of that bad self-talk. And I'm so stupid, and I should have been in school, and I should be taller, and I should be, should have used this word, whatever, instead of saying, this is a process and it's happening, right? And the job is gonna come when it does. We talk about the universe doing for us what we can't do for ourselves. Sometimes there's a job that we didn't get because maybe that wasn't going to be a great job for us. And just going through the process of learning to be patient is part of your recovery. Just going through the process and reaching out to someone and saying, hey, Haiti, you know what? It's been 2 weeks and I haven't got a job and I'm feeling kind of scared. Can I talk with you for a minute? So that you could breathe and feel better, right? And knowing that you don't have to be alone. I didn't know you were scared. You didn't reach out to me. So, and you know that you could reach out to me anytime for any reason, right? And I'm sure everybody else feels that same way. And so maybe it's a time for you to learn that when you're feeling lonely or scared, that it's okay to reach out. That there are people here that are we gonna give you money and give you a job? No, we're not, but we'll definitely give you support. And I hope that if I was in that position that you would be there to support me as well, which you would, right? Spiritually support me? Yeah, and so we're here for you, just like you'd be there for us. So remember that, okay?
I just want to add that I think my fears around that, or I know my fears around that, is a lack of confidence. I feel like, okay, if I had a job, like, I don't know if I would be good at it, would I even be good at it? What if, like, it's that whole perfectionism kind of thing. So I know that's where the fear is for me, that if I get one, will I even be good?
And here's the thing, you're gonna get a job and you're gonna be good at it or you're not. Whether you're afraid or not, either you're gonna know what you're doing or you're not, right? And so to let go of the fear and be able to look at it more kind of like an adventure, right? Like I'm going up on a trail and I don't know what's gonna be there, but it's probably gonna be a lot of fun. Remember, you guys, I always talk about if we're gonna make up stories, let's make up nice ones, right? Oh, I'm gonna get this job and it's gonna be so challenging and I'm gonna learn so much. And if it doesn't work, it's going to teach me something that I need to know for the next one that comes up. So let's make up that story, okay? Instead of that I'm not good enough story, because they're both stories that you're making up. So make up a happy one, right?
No,
Just as easy. If we're lying to ourselves, we might as well lie in a good way, right?
True.
Thank you so much for sharing. So, Karen, you were talking about feeling a bit lonely, yes?
Yes. Yes, left out and left behind or whatever.
Left out and left behind because somebody passed away, or left out and left behind of the situation because we lost connection there. So,
Because of the situation, it really didn't have anything to do with the person passing away. It had to do with things that were done after the funeral and things that others have been invited to say in the neighborhood. You know, just for like 5 minutes, I just had this overwhelming cloud of, you know, like Charlie Brown or whatever, Pickett and whoever it was that always had that cloud over his head. That it just felt awful. But I got beyond it.
do you know what that was from?
You mean originally or?
Yeah, what were you feeling? You said that you felt kind of like lonely or left alone or left behind.
Yeah.
What was happening that you looked at like that?
What was happening? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, others, they got together to go to a meal after the funeral that we didn't go to. There were pictures on Facebook that obviously I wasn't a part of, it wasn't there. And we get home and find that most of the neighbors or many of our neighbor friends are going on this weekend with another neighbor, and you know, we weren't included. And part of that is just like, okay, that's fine, that's us, we're not like them necessarily, but it's just like, what's wrong with us that we aren't included? And so I just haven't included any party with.
Okay, and did you want to be included?
Yes and no.
Oh, okay. So if you wanted to be included, could you have called someone and said, hey, I'd love to go with you guys? Is that okay?
That's what my husband said. He said,
Sounds like a smart husband.
They were going, you know, like what time should we be there? Or we didn't put ourselves in a position to be included in the dinner after the funeral or the Facebook picture.
Right, why not?
It was on us.
Why not?
Because the burial was like an hour and a half away somewhere else. We came home. We were riding with someone else. A whole series of things just didn't work out that we were included. But it didn't seem to matter to how I felt. Just I knew that up here, but in here it felt different.
Yeah. And so, guys, you know, if everybody else is going out for coffee after and I don't get invited, I can either feel bad or I could say, hey, do you know what? You guys are going out for coffee. I'd really love to come. Whether she wants to say yes or not, she's probably going to say, yeah, it's okay. And then I could put myself in that position so that I could hang out with people so they could know for next time that I did want to get included. Right? I don't know what you want unless you tell me. Do you go out with these people often?
We've been to several neighborhood functions with them.
Okay.
I'm blaming it on my husband. I don't think get me people when they don't want to involve.
That's so funny. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can always ask to be included. Right? Worst thing people say, no, I don't want to include you.
Yeah. Sorry.
I said, worst case, somebody will say, you know what, we really didn't, you know, it's only for a couple of select ones of us and we really didn't want you there.
You know, and that's what I was saying. It's like, well, if you want to go, you say you want to go. And I'm just like, oh, I'm over here with sad. Look at my words.
Okay. All right, let's bring everybody a little bit closer so maybe we can hear you better.
Yeah, we'll bring a speaker next time.
Next time, yeah.
We're learning.
Yeah, Karen, and so sometimes, and so that place of fear that you go to, I know is kind of your default. And so being able to talk about it and talk through it is part of your recovery. And having the attitude that if something happens next time, you know, if people are doing something and I'd like to be involved in it, ask. That's all. Involve yourself, right? Somebody could always say no. You know, it's not for you. It's only for people with blonde hair, right? Okay, and so we've lost the connection. And so you should feel left out if you can hear us because we've completely lost the connection. So there you go. Karen, thank you so much for sharing. Kim?
Hello.
I'm so glad that you're here, by the way.
Yes.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. I have been practicing, like I have an orchid on my desk and it's beautiful, but all of a sudden, like 3 or 4 of the flowers died, and I looked at those 3 or 4 dead ones instead of the other part of the plant, like for days, and I kept thinking, why am I doing that? But it's the same thing, you know, it's that I need to practice, reframe my thinking, or like you said, if I'm gonna make up a story, it might as well be a good one and a happy one, you know, it doesn't have to be a negative, self-loathing, you know, bad thinking about myself. But I did, someone asked me to write down some affirmations, and I've been doing that, for the past couple of days, and it's really, I find it very beneficial, because I'm looking at myself, I'm not just brushing my teeth or brushing my hair, or, you know, getting out of the room real quick, like I'm actually looking at myself, and I'm saying something that's loving and kind, that I mean, that I really do believe, and I think it's a good thing. I mean, it's having a good impact.
So that's awesome. And so you guys, when we talk about doing our gratitude list, right? That's also, so when we do our affirmations, when I do 3 affirmations in the day, I'm changing my mindset. Biology of the brain says I'm hearing 3 good things about myself, which actually changes the way that my brain is working, right? And so when we do 3 things that we're grateful for, also allows us to look at good stuff, changes the biology of the brain. And then our strength for the day is our affirmation, right? And so do you do those on Facebook with us in What's Eating You?
Yeah, I don't do Facebook.
Oh, okay, well, fair enough. Are you in WhatsApp? In our WhatsApp?
I think I had it on my phone from when we first started.
Okay, yeah, so it would be awesome if you would do that with us. Because then you do your affirmations, and then we get to smile, and, you know, we read other people's gratitude lists, and it just makes me giggle.
Yeah.
You know, it just makes me feel so nice to read 3 things that somebody else has gone through in the day that they're grateful for. You know, especially if you're in a crap mood and you read somebody else's gratitude list, it like makes me smile.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's awesome that you're doing the affirmations. It really is, because it really not only changes the way that you're thinking, but also changes what your brain hears about you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So-
I can see that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so good for you.
Yeah.
And again, I'm really glad that you came to the meeting.
Sure.
Thanks for doing that. And so I've completely lost him, so now it's your turn. Do you want to talk or not, girl?
I forgot about my affirmations, but I'm gonna do that when I get home. I did it in the mirror Tuesday, and I haven't done it since.
So you have so many great things to say about yourself now. You have to catch up, right? Right.
Yes. One of them is that I'm really, a little tired right now, but overall, I have so much more enthusiasm for life. You know,
Good. Why do you think that is?
I'm clean and sober, I'm surrounding myself with wonderful people, I'm going to meetings and reading literature, and, you know, just everything that sort of feeds my soul.
And you know, so those were all affirmations. I'm clean and sober. I'm surrounding myself with people who have something to offer me. I'm, spiritually, I'm staying fit. All of those things, again, are things that your brain hears that changes your brain chemistry. That helps to change your outlook. So even when you're just speaking positively,
Yeah.
and you're meaning it because you're smiling. So even when you're just speaking those words positively, that's super helpful for your own work. So that was like an accidental affirmation
Yes, it was.
that you just did. So that's good. Accidental affirmation is awesome. So thank you for doing that. Any challenges for this week?
Oh, let me think. I feel like there was, but I mean,
She's so
I
fabulous.
had
I
a
can't believe it.
challenge. What day was that? When did I take my
On
mom?
Saturday.
Last
Saturday or Sunday?
Friday or
Friday.
Saturday last week. My mom wanted to go to the casino.
Mhm.
And so I very grudgingly, angrily took her. Yelled at her the whole time.
Aw.
Going to the casino, losing her money, and I was just like miserable.
Why?
I didn't want to drive her. And
Why didn't you want to drive her?
It's far, and I don't know. Just didn't-
Right, so it's not because it's far, because you went snorkeling, right? And that was probably far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's not because it's far.
I just
Yeah,
wasn't
you
in the
didn't-
mood.
okay.
You know, and I hate when she loses her money.
Okay,
And she
and
hates when she
you
loses
hate
her
when
money,
she
but
loses her money because?
I don't know.
okay, so is it, if she does, so how much money does she lose at the casino?
Well, she only had a little bit this time.
Okay.
Last time she went.
Is she a
she lost
degenerate gambler?
She's not a degenerate, and she doesn't go that often. So, you know, I don't know. I made it all about me.
Does she use, listen, so, because I want to know if you're looking at it realistically or not.
Yeah.
Does she lose money that if she loses, she doesn't have money for food?
No, she always has.
Or is it like extra money that she's spending, like if we went to the movies, or if we went to see Cirque and we spent $100?
Yeah, and she
That-
doesn't do a lot. I mean, there's not
Okay.
that much that she does. We go to the movies a lot. and-
Okay,
But so there's not a lot of things that she does. She can't drive anymore, you know, blah,
so
blah,
what
blah.
were you pissed at?
I don't know.
Okay.
So angry.
And you were so angry.
Anyway, my assignment, the day.
From the workshop. Oh, it was the day after the workshop. It was
It was the day
Saturday.
after the workshop.
Because we did the
Uh-oh.
workshop on Saturday.
It was the day of the workshop. It
Uh-huh,
was Saturday,
okay,
and
and?
our assignment was to reach out to somebody and, you know.
You
blah,
gave
blah,
that
blah.
assignment.
I gave that
Yeah.
assignment. Oh, I forgot I gave an assignment.
So
Great.
I texted Haiti and I was like, I really need an emotional hug, blah, 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 told her the story in a brief synopsis. So she texted me back, first this beautiful little reading, and then she said, you only have one mommy, and she's an adult, and it's her money, just love her.
Right,
And I was like,
right.
oh yeah. But so it was really great to have someone to reach out to. It was really great to get an instant response and a positive, helpful response. And, you know, it talked me off the limb.
And it's also nice that, that you've thought immediately, okay, I can ask for help.
Yeah.
And then you asked for help, and then help was there.
And I felt special that you asked me to help you. I
And
mean,
since
that-
it's all about Haiti now, it's not about you and your mom anymore.
No, you know, we forget that we ask people to be of so, you know, when we're asking for help, it's easy for us to give help. You know,
Yeah.
I'm that type of person, it's very easy to give help, but to ask for help and to be in a position of service is
Yeah.
really the learning that I'm pushing for.
Yeah, that's right. No, absolutely. Yeah, because when you're scared, you stay, it's easier for you to stay scared than to reach out and say, I'm scared. Right.
Or I'm angry, or I'm frustrated, or
Right.
whatever.
They're all scared.
Right.
Reschedule a one-day workshop. Oh, Angela's holding up a sign. She's like Vanna White. Reschedule. The workshop will not be this Tuesday. The workshop is gonna be.
Not
or
Tuesday,
what?
Saturday.
Saturday. Wow, I'm actually here today, you guys. The workshop will not be this, our one-day workshop, intensive
Right.
workshop, will not be this Saturday. It's gonna be 8/25/18.
August 20th.
8:25.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8/25. Yeah, next month, 4 weeks from now. So,
Let's finish with one and then we'll go.
okay, well, she interrupted me, so I had to put it out there. So we'll get back to that. It's not Tuesday, it's Saturday.
ADD at work.
Oh my God, can you imagine? And we're clean. That's the whole thing.
Crazy day.
Remember the signs.
I've been ignoring the signs, so maybe I should start paying attention.
Maybe.
Anyhow, I think I'm finished. Basically, that was my challenge.
Yeah, so thanks for sharing that. And like Haiti said, so for Haiti, actually, we talk about being of service, and I'm not of service to you so that I could get something back from it. But the fact of the matter is that sometimes when I am of service to you, it also makes me feel good, right?
Yeah.
And so you were of service, and that made you feel nice.
And it made me think, you know, that if I'm heading into a situation where I'm uncomfortable, or that I'm mad at my parents or whatever, I can reach out to someone. But it made me think about it. Didn't make me do it. But it definitely played to the
It's a process.
It is I'm a very slow learner. You gotta understand, okay? It takes time.
She
That was
also
really
said
good
you
to
have a choice, you can be right or you can be happy.
Right.
That was another thing that I had forgotten.
Right.
So I forgot all these
Right.
things.
And do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? And you guys, when we're being right, you know, at that point you had a couple of choices. You could have said, I'm not taking you because I don't want to.
Right.
And then you wouldn't have had to hold the resentment, although you probably would have felt guilty about it. But right. Right. Or I've gone with it and said, you know what, I'm going to do this for her, and it doesn't really matter how I feel about it because it's certainly not hurting you, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to stay in the moment and just be happy that I get to spend a little bit of time with my mom, right? Because a lot of us don't have moms, right? So we don't have that time with our mom. So good.
And you know, also never know how long we've got with our moms. So really to make the most of the time that we've got is
Yeah,
a
it's
gift.
it's super important. So thanks, that was a really good perspective about perspective, actually.
We do hang out a lot and have nice times and laugh a lot together.
She just wants to
Take
make
her
sure we
other
know that.
places where I don't get all angry.
And there might be a little bit more behind it too, you know, that maybe you want to take a look at. Just as far as, you know, we're in the addiction
Well, I'm
recovery
exactly
world.
like her. I'm headstrong and stubborn, and if I don't get my way, I stomp my, well, I used to.
Used to, right.
I stomp my feet
Yeah.
and be, you know. And I see like, you know, that when she wants to go, it's like an addiction. It's like she's
Right.
choosing.
Yeah.
And I see myself. I think the biggest part of it is that I'm exactly like her.
Yeah, and so maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's got, some of it has to do with that, and so, okay, right? Your perspective was still, okay, but I can still do this with her. If I'm gonna say I'm gonna do it, then let go of the resentment and do
Right.
it. Otherwise, don't do it.
Right. Okay.
That's the other choice.
Mhm.
So thank you so much. Okay, so, I can't see anybody's
So
names.
Jess is here, Jess from England.
Yes, she is. And who's up in the top left?
Nancy and
Liz.
Jennifer and
Huh?
Liz and Karen
Oh,
and other
Jennifer.
Jess and Laura.
Let's go Liz first. She was
Okay,
on first.
let's go Liz first, because you were on first, Liz. Speak as loudly as you can, Mamala.
Oh, it's even worse.
Yeah, we can't hear you
We
at all.
can't hear you at all. Don't know what happened there. Okay, hold on.
So this is so funny. So, you know, when we talk about our perspective and the way that we look at things, so like right now, like we have this thing going on, right? And we're on Facebook and we're on YouTube and all this stuff is going incorrectly. And it's so nice to giggle about it,
Yeah.
you know, and not get all upset and oh my God, what's happening? I'm like, who cares? Like really, you know, none of it's that important. Angela and I talked today about that saying about, you know, everything that's happening is happening just right now. It's not happening a second from now. It's just happening right now, you know? So whatever's going on is going on. Okay, let's see if we could get back.
Otherwise, we're just going to interpret.
I can hear her perfectly.
Okay, so we're gonna have an interpreter. Go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me?
Little bit, yeah.
Okay. Well, after all of that, I really don't have anything to share.
You gotta.
But I'm glad to be here.
And we're glad you joined us.
We're glad that you're here too. Nothing, anything that you want to go over this week? No, and no, I can't hear her at all. So, okay,
Jess
Jess?
from London.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jess, can you unmute yourself so we'd see if we could hear you?
Yep.
Oh, I think I
Okay.
can hear you.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm okay. Yeah. I'm
Oh.
all right.
Okay, so you didn't say that with a whole lot of conviction.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think I'm okay. Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, I'm okay, actually.
What's going
Yeah,
on?
I'm feeling better than I was.
You're what?
I'm feeling better than I was earlier on.
She's feeling better
Okay.
than she was.
Okay, good. How are you feeling earlier on?
A bit low and rubbish. Yeah, it's just been a difficult day, but I'm trying to keep the gratitude.
And it's been a difficult day because?
Because I scuffed someone's car, basically. Yeah.
She what?
She bumped into someone's car.
Oh, so you had a little fender bender.
I'll interpret in American, okay?
Well, it's not even that. I can't hear, first of all, and then she's talking in London. So you had a fender bender. Okay, that happened. So that's a drag, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of those accept the things I can't change because we can't unfender bender, right?
Yeah, I think it's my face of financial worries is what got me in a bit of tizzy. Because, yeah.
Okay. All right, and so I'm sorry that you're going through some financial stuff. And so that scares all of us, right? I mean, paying our bills is something that's super important. The less you can possibly stress about it, because we know, you know, if you go through all day today and you're scared, because of what's going on financially. Tonight at 8 o'clock, it's going to be 8 o'clock. And if you're not scared and just doing your best to do your best, and you can let go of some of the fear, at 8 o'clock, it's going to be 8 o'clock. The only difference will be that you got through the day either petrified or you got through the day not worrying so much. That's one of the hardest things that we're going to learn in recovery, I think, is that when there is fear there, to understand that that's something normal, right? We get scared. Is it serving us? Which most fear doesn't serve us. And can I reach out to somebody else and at least talk to somebody else about it so that I can feel a little less scared? Because what's happening is happening. So doing your best to do your best, which I bet you are, is what you can do. But the fear doesn't help you. It just gives you a stomach ache. And so now I have some financial worries. I have a stomach ache, and I'm more apt to get back into that thinking that I used to be in when I used to use. Right? Because that's the easiest way out for us, because we're addicts. So our easiest out is to get to that place where we're despondent and everything looks too big. And then it's at the point where if I'm going to be miserable and scared anyway, I might as well use. And so make sure that before you get to that place, or whatever, make sure that you're reaching out. Okay? Everybody's been there. Doesn't make your problem any less or any less scary. But everybody's in there, so reach out. There are people that are going to be happy to chat with, give you your 15 seconds, right? And then and hopefully help to change your perspective a little bit.
So I just want to give kudos to Jess. She did reach out. She actually IM'd me.
Oh, very
which
good.
is awesome.
Good
And I
girl.
was very proud of her for doing it. And that was a big step, and just I'm proud of you.
Yeah, good for you. And keep talking, okay? All right, baby? And thank you for sharing. Thank you, Mama. And who's up? Is Jennifer in the corner?
Yeah, Jennifer's there.
Hey, Jennifer.
Hello.
Oh, I can hear you. How are you?
Good. I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. What's going on?
Not much today. Just came back from doctor stuff and just kind of trying to calm down.
You said you're trying to calm down?
Not like, yeah, just kind of trying to relax after what went on. I had MRI, so I was
Okay.
a little anxiety ridden.
Okay, yes, MRIs are never fun. And,
No.
okay, and so obviously you've got some kind of challenge going on and you seeing your doctor is stepping into the solution, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and anything else going on with you?
Not today. I'm still doing my gratitude in the morning and the evening, and
Good. Okay.
otherwise pretty uneventful today.
Okay, how comfortable are you with asking for help?
I'm not very good.
Okay, so why don't we get better at that? Okay, so you have 15 seconds of something you want to talk about? You got 15 seconds to complain about anything that you want.
No, I think I'm okay today.
Okay. All right, fair enough. So if you change your mind, raise your hand. I won't see you, but the other people will, and they'll let me know that you raise your hand, and we'll call on you again. Okay? All right. Did Laura go? Where's Laura? Oh, Laura's up in the corner. Hi, Laura.
Hi.
What's up, girlie?
I'm okay. I mean, overall, my only thing is same thing I've talked about before, and that is definitely like transfer addiction is real.
Yeah.
It is real.
Yeah.
And so, if I had my way, I would be taking Valium every day.
Ah, there you go.
I really think it's really good.
I'd be smoking a joint, by the way. That's my thing.
Very nice. I would be taking Valium. And so, having went on today for sure, and just wanting to, like, realizing what it was and just knowing that I can't go down that road.
Laura, let me ask you a question. I'm going to ask you to be real with me. You have Valium in your house, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, get rid of them.
All of them?
I
Just keep one bottle of Jack Daniels by the bed. Just one bottle, about 16 Valium, and go get a prescription for some opiates, but only keep 10.
Can I send you my address?
So here's the thing. It makes it a little bit easier to use
Yeah.
when what we want to, and I'm talking to you, I'm a drug addict and an alcoholic in recovery.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you that if I have two, it doesn't even matter if I don't have a lot. If I have one, 30 milligram oxycodone, and it's sitting in my house and I know where it is, I'm setting myself up to fail. Especially if I'm being honest enough about wanting to use. You don't have it out there that you're a drug addict, right? So if you get rid of your Valium and in the future you want to use that badly, you've got a doctor, right? You can always have somebody write a prescription for your demise, right? By the way, there are better ways to deal with anxiety than with Valium, even medically, with non-addictive medications you could talk to your doctor about. Yeah, but so I don't know. I'm gonna ask consensus around the room to at least the drug addicts. Is it a good idea to keep drugs in our house?
would take them if I had them, probably.
Right. And Dawn just said I'd take them if I have them. How long do you have clean?
Almost 8 months.
Almost 8 months. Jess, you want to chime in with that? JJ, you gonna keep Valium in your house?
No.
How did it work out last time for you when you had Valium available or Xanax available?
Not well.
Yeah, you relapsed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just saying.
So you just gotta be on.
Yeah, and here's the thing with Laura. So Laura's brutally honest. So Laura like puts it out there and let the chips fall. Oh, I said chips. Don't have those either. But let the poker chips. Oh, we can't have those either.
Cucumber chips. Cucumber chips.
Yeah, cucumber chips. Let the cucumbers fall where they do. You're going to be much better off, Laura, not having them around you. And that's not giving them to your husband and saying, only give this to me if I say I really need it. Because you're not treated diagnostically for anxiety right now, correct?
Right.
Right. And so, yeah, and so you go through sometimes where you're a little anxious, and you know, because you have it in your head, when we talk about cross addiction, well, I'm really a food addict, and you know, I mean, I'm not like them. You know, I could do one Valium, and you will do one Valium, and you'll feel a little bit better. And once we do the one Valium next Thursday, we do one, and then 3 hours later we do another one, because it's only, look how little they are. They're so little. And you know, you only have to do one in the morning to get up because you're going to feel better. Also, when you wake up in the morning. And then what happens is your doctor shopping. It might sound like it's not your thing, but it's our reality.
Oh no, it sounds like it's my thing.
Get rid of the effing Valium.
And I must tell you, as a
Nice,
post-bariatric
nice.
person, there's no calories in Valium. So
Right.
it's so much easier to digest, especially when your stomach's this big and I can't do the potatoes and the rice and the sugar and all the other stuff. That is just so much of a go-to place for me if I let myself go there.
Yeah, so get rid of them. Get rid of them. Look, she just did looking up to the left. She's thinking about something.
What I was
Yeah.
gonna say, if I have something like that in the house, like it talks to me. So if it's talking to you, then you need to get rid of it. That's my advice.
And she already said it was.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I don't know how well you can hear over there, because I'm gonna have a hard time hearing over here. Yeah, and she said, no, like, the struggle is real, right? And you're thinking about it because you're talking about it. Get rid of them, because you know what? It's gonna be a drag to see you in a treatment center, because you can't, first, I'm gonna let you guys know, consistently doing benzos gets to be up to 45 days worth of withdrawal. And that withdrawal sucks. And I'm not telling you that because I read it in a book. Okay? That ain't something that somebody told me a story about. It's a horrible, horrible withdrawal. You feel crazy, anxious. You can't even believe that you have to get through that withdrawal when you're withdrawn. So even if you're not doing a whole lot, even if you're just doing it a little bit consistently, really real. I'm not saying other withdrawals are good, but that's really bad. Yes.
So I just want to quickly mention something because we have a whole lot of new people that just joined in and they're a little confused. We got Sandy, we got Eilish, we got Wanda, we got Michelle, we got Bonnie, we got Lisa, we got Christy.
Welcome.
Welcome, guys. So really, it has got nothing to do with the substance that we pick up. If it's food, gambling, sex, alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, it doesn't matter what we're picking up. The reason is we're picking up stuff to stop how we're feeling or to numb ourselves out so we don't need to feel or to change something that we feel like we can't control. And if you're still confused, keep coming back. It does start making sense.
Yeah, and it's so funny when you say the things that we feel like we can't control. And the reason why we feel like we can't control them is because we're not in control of them.
Because we're crazy.
So, right. No, and so we can't
Yes,
control
we
them, right? We can control our perspective and our own actions, and that's it. And when we're in a place where we're trying to control what's happening outside of us, we get frustrated and fearful, and for addicts, we use. But Laura, super important, and I'm actually gonna ask you to text 3 people later and let them know that you got rid of your Valium.
Okay.
Okay? Or text 3 people and let us know that you didn't. She's like, I'm not texting you for sure. I'm gonna text Angela. She's gonna be nice to me.
All right, I'll do it.
Jess, you're a good girl. Thanks for bringing that up. Thank you. JJ, what's going on, girlie? So you're back in Peoria.
Yeah, I am. I'm back. I'm having a struggle this evening. It's crazy. It's like the littlest thing caused me anxiety and like threw my mind off track. I think just acclimating back to, out of vacation mode, back into work mode. I had my evening planned out. I was gonna go to one store, then pick up groceries that I ordered online, thinking I was being proactive. And then they threw a wrench in my plans and changed my pickup time, and that annoyed me, and it just caused me too much anxiety. Like, why did that cause me so much? I don't know what it caused, but I'm like, my brain has been crazy ever since then.
Oh.
That's about it.
Okay, Jess, take a breath, sweetheart. Take a breath.
Yeah.
Right. And so you're getting reacclimated, right? It was the first time that you traveled by yourself. You kind of went through a lot for you, right? You behaved very well while you were here. I mean, you seemed really comfortable, right? You were comfortable and chatty, and you shared at meetings, and you did all of that stuff. Now you're back at home. You know, I'm going to tell you something. So with addicts, we tend to feel as little as possible, right? And that's why we use. And I'm just gonna put it out there and say, you came to Florida, you connected with people that you've only met from afar, right? You got a little bit close to some people and we got into each other's lives a little bit and hung out with each other, right? And emotionally, you have to feel some kind of connection there. And then you leave, right? And so now you're not seeing us every day and you're not in the midst of this. And it's different. And maybe you went home and you felt that little bit of an ouch. You know, I don't miss anybody. Is that true, Ange?
Yeah.
I don't miss anybody. For me, it's a defense mechanism that I've learned. I've had, after my son died, I had to learn how to deal with life however I learned how to deal with life. And so I don't miss people because I don't allow it. That's something that I work on because it actually makes me more human when I can miss somebody and say that's okay. I'm not going to fall apart if I'm missing somebody, right? And so remember we left the meeting the other day and I was like I have a little bit of an ouch right now, right? Right. I don't know. Again, I'm making this up, but perhaps you have a little bit of an ouch right now, right?
Yeah.
And you're not here in the middle of us and in the middle of this family that you just took on.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, like I don't have, like I told Katie, like it felt like I was with family. Like
Right.
there was someone always around. talking about feelings, talking about, everything. Like I didn't need a filter,
Right.
and people at work, I love my work family, but you don't talk like you talk amongst people who are in recovery,
Correct.
So, yeah, I think you're probably right. I mean, like I told Haiti too, I talk to Tigger, but he doesn't talk back.
Right. Right. No. Right.
And it's also been exciting. You've been doing so much between the different trips and planning for it and the build up and going. Reality for me sucks sometimes. That mundane, boring stuff is stuff that for me, and this is me, is that getting back into that without a lot of excitement isn't healthy for me as an addict, because that puts me in a place where my crazy can start stepping in. But it's also when I put 100% into everything. So when I'm going into a trip, it's a planning before, it's getting organized, it's getting ready, it's getting there, it's all this stuff that goes behind it. So when I get back, I'm actually also there's a deflation almost, and also that sense of reality comes stepping back in, and it's back to work and back to those other things as well.
Yeah, and I think you feel sad.
I think so too.
And
I
I think it's okay to feel sad. Yeah, I know Angelie's shaking her head. I can't see on this side of the room, but I think that you feel sad. And that sadness honors your relationship with your new peeps. Right? Right. And so to be able to shift that and say, how fortunate am I that I get to miss these people? Because I know they're an airplane ride away,
Right.
and they're certainly an I am away, right? Or a telephone call away. Right? Right. So thanks for being a part of our family. Really. And we miss you too.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And it's okay. That's all right. And we're still right here. Thank you,
I
Jess.
know.
Thank you, sweetheart. Yeah, she's sad.
know, I'm sad I miss it too.
We're all codependent, so we're all gonna be sad. We're gonna have a whole crying party as soon as we get off this. No, but you're sad, and that's okay. And that's okay, and that's one of the feelings that we really don't want to feel, right? Right? Fear. Fear is losing something that I have, or not getting what I want, and this is losing something that I have. So, hi, come on in. We're having a meeting.
So
we're gonna be out of here in 2 minutes.
So we're just about to finish up. So I just wanted to touch on, we're rescheduling for August the 25th. Nancy, I know that we're kind of running out a little bit of time. I'm going to try to be quick so we can fit you in quickly. So we look at rescheduling the intensive workshop for August the 25th. For various reasons, but we'll reach out. But anyway, it's a better day. And we also meet up again on Sunday, just for anyone interested, 9 a.m. If you are local, reach out to us and we'll give you the meeting address. It's in Fat Village.
Yeah.
Okay.
On Sunday. And Nancy, actually, are you going to be at the meeting on Sunday morning? Yes? Was that a yes? Okay, perfect. Thank you. So how about if we call on Nancy first, because we have people walking in. So our schedule is a little off right now because we're in a meeting room where people are actually coming in and having other meetings. So thank you for your patience and your understanding. I appreciate that.
So do you want to take us out with the promises?
Oh, so I'm going to read the promises from the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous. If we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we are halfway through. We are going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. We will not regret the past, nor wish to shut the door on it, you guys. We will comprehend the word serenity, and we will know peace. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. That feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. We will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Self-seeking will slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. Fear of people and of economic insecurity will leave us. We will intuitively know how to handle situations that used to baffle us. We will suddenly realize that the universe does for us what we couldn't do for ourselves. Are these extravagant promises? We don't think so. They're being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly and sometimes slowly. They will always materialize if we work for them. My name is Dr. Felice Cellini. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, you guys, for our Why Wait for Recovery Thursday evening recovery community meeting.
And my name is Haiti, and I'm so blessed and grateful to be here and to be in recovery. And if no one's told you today that they love you, I love you. And we'll see you Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Peace out, you guys.
Peace out,
Recovery is
everyone.
awesome.
Recovery is awesome.
Thank you. Thanks, you guys.
I was like,